Hello, bonjour, ça va, and how are we today? It is Saturday, April the 26th, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the beautiful shores of Lake Huron. The lake has actually turned to blue the last few days. It's gone from that muddy, weirdo color to blue. So, yeah, I'm feeling like we're back to normal. Anyway, I came on tonight. This is evening time. Just finished a show that I did about 15, 20 minutes north of where I live in a very remote little community. It's at the sand dunes at the beach. And I did this last year. This is my second year doing a wellness show there. And there were a lot more practitioners of energy healing, different modalities, younger women. It was very interesting because last year there were a lot of people selling like crystals and more of that kind of activity. But this was, and I think I was only one of two people doing energy work. So this was very different because there were a lot more of these women, young women, who were offering their services in regards to energy healing. So that was new. I just wanted to come on and tell you about the day today because something happened that I have never seen happen before in, what is it, 19, 20 years now of me doing this work. There are people coming to me. Usually people only come to me when they're already spiritually awake and aware, or they want a reading, an energy reading. Yeah, it's kind of like they're already there. They're awake, they're aware, they get it. People who are not don't normally come to me. I don't magnetize, I don't attract that particular a type of being. But that was not the case today. There were numerous new people coming to me who had no clue. And I worked from 10 until 3. It was a straight 5 hours, one right after the other, basically, as people were showing up. I don't have a big fanfare. Like, my table is so plain. Like, there's nothing to it. And I just sit there. And the other tables, they've got flowers and they've made it really pretty. They've done a lot of work. Yeah, not me. I'm just kind of simple. Here's my table. Here I am. Here's my business card. Took a few of my crystals. And that's about it. Here's my book. I had my book there. I was surprised to have numerous people buying my book. It's a channeled book. And yeah, I think that was 2012. And people are only now interested in it. That was kind of interesting. Did not expect that at all. So that was one thing that happened that I didn't expect. The second thing were these new people. And every message that I channeled them, we just sit in, there are two chairs. I don't even take the massage table. So we have two chairs, and I just read the person's energy. I run a little hands-on healing, maybe at their knees, because we're both seated facing each other. So a little bit, my hands on their knees, and then I go around, hands on their shoulders and on their back. And that's pretty much all I do to run the energy. Maybe at the crown, top of their head. And that's it. That's all we do. But these new people, the message from spirit light that came through was a very high frequency light message. And I'm looking at them and I'm hearing it and I'm giving them the message, and it's like, why am I saying this to them? These people have no clue what I'm talking about. Like, none. This was like a first time for them. And the only thing I was getting was, and each one of these people, I'm almost like apologizing. I'm sorry I'm telling you this stuff because I know you have no clue what I'm saying. And I I know how you're taking this information. It's like, what? Like, is this woman totally like, out there? But what I heard for each one of these new people was that very soon they were going to have a very vivid spiritual awakening. And this was their warning ahead of time, because it was going to be like a little overwhelming to them when it happened, and they wouldn't know how to handle it. They wouldn't know what to do. Like, what do I do with all this information? When I had those moments of awakening, I was in class, some metaphysical, esoteric, a Reiki class, an energy class, some sort of class, the mystery school. There was some sort of class where I was with other people and with teachers who were more knowledgeable than myself, who could help me with this strange awakening process. So this was their initial heads up. It was the initial awakening, spiritual awakening for them. I heard for each one of these, it basically had a very similar message from Spirit for each one of these people, that their abilities, their gifts were going to come online. So their clairvoyance in one case, telepathic abilities in another case, so on and so on and so on. And they're just like, sitting there looking at me, just speechless. Like, I don't know. I don't know whether they were like, I have zero clue what this woman's talking about, but it was almost like they were in shock a little bit about even hearing this information. It was very odd for me. I've never had this happen in all these years. So to me, I felt that I was being shown that this time period of the collective waking up spiritually is upon us. Now, we've been talking about this for years, have we not? About the spiritual awakening, about the rise in frequency on your world and on your planet. But here was actual living proof for me to witness, to be a part of this with these people. When Spirit gives me messages to give to someone, I can't be, saying, no, I'm not going to say that. I have to say that. And I can't sit in judgment of it either, because Spirit knows best where that person is and what they're capable of doing, believing, whatever. I'm just the messenger. I'm just passing that information along. But I talked with some other practitioners, and they were seeing it as well. It's not just random conversation now. It's real. It's focused. It's meant to be right now. So for any of us, any of you thinking that this isn't happening, it truly is. So get on board with that. It's happening. We're working through this ascension process. There was only one person there out of everybody in those 5 hours that I actually could say the word ascension. The others don't have a clue. If I said that word, they wouldn't have known. And I didn't hear to say it. So during our collective ascension process, we're here to spill the truth to these new souls and these new alignments in the higher light. It's here. It's done. It's being done. We are one. So we're encapsulating the higher sun. God bless. We're getting it done. So a lot of it was confirmation for these people. A lot of them just staring at me blankly as I'm reading them and giving this information and running energy. And then at the end, it's like, yeah, wow, I taking all this in, what you're saying. And some of them it was, yes, this is confirmation. I kind of already knew this. Deep inside, we know. You just need somebody else outside of yourself saying it to you to give you that confirmation. So it was mainly, the majority of the people today was mainly confirmation messages. As I said, there was like 20% newbies, totally like, you could tell by the look on their face, like there's what? Like what? But they were taking it in. And then there were others who already know their job. They already know their duty, their soul purpose mission. And it was just nice to be able to converse with someone who is at that same level of understanding. Sometimes it's just nice to have an adult conversation instead of being with the children all day, because that's what it's like. I raised my children. I stayed at home. I was a stay-at-home mom. We were in agreement to do that. That's what we both wanted as parents. We wanted to be there, and we could financially, so we did. So I stayed at home. My children were never in daycare. I was with them 24/7. Pros and cons to that, I'm going to say. But all along, we teach each other different facets of our personality and our character and our beingness. And just because one says one thing to the other doesn't mean it's necessarily true. It's just been what's been taught to you. That's how I'm hearing it. So sometimes we're undoing the brainwashing that we've been dealt in our lifetime, and then others are undoing theirs, and it's a process. So this is a process of healing along our timeline. That's what the book that I was given back in 2012 is all about. This is a generational focus of healing our timelines. So my children, children's children, so on and so on and so on, are undoing the past lineage lines. So no matter how they're raised, they're going to undo the past, because the past does not last. And they're going to move forward on this new ascension program, and they're going to learn their lot in life doesn't involve strife. So however we've been raised, it doesn't matter. Bottom line, we're all going to come out of this the same. All right? There's not going to be any more blame, shame games. There's not going to be any more judgment. There's not going to be any more condemnation. There's not going to be any more jealousy or, oh gosh, I kept hearing so many people were in stress and in strife, and they were battling each other, but they're actually were battling themselves. The external is just where we focus on, but actually the battle is within yourself. So once you stop, so many times I just heard, just stop doing what you're doing, Stop battling yourself. Stop being in resistance to your higher self. Come from love. We did a lot of work on the heart chakra, the throat chakra, opening up. This is your new soul purpose mission, to teach other people this higher way of life. So the whole collective now, no matter where you've been or where you are, you're going to move forward and you're going to go very far. And that's where we are. We're completing our mission from our higher star. Okay. Yeah. So the truth is coming out. We've seen this, not just individually about ourselves, because this was a witness to each person who showed up at my table today. But it's also a collective. Look at what's going on in the news. Like, seriously. One after the other. Boom, 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 boom. One's no longer there in their job. The other one's passed over. They're no longer in their job there. I mean, these are the top leaders of the past. And these are all going away now. Okay? It's done. We told you the systems were coming down. You're seeing it now. Seeing is believing, right? But we told you this was going to happen. That's exactly what's going on. Legal systems, religious systems, governmental systems, educational systems, health systems. They're all coming down. They're all crashing and burning as they are supposed to, and rightly so right now. Because they're built on past foundations that were not solid, not firm, not really the best for society. It's best for a few, but not for the rest. So as these are crumbling, these old templates and ways of being, the new ones are being built. So the people are waking up to this. Even though they may not understand it, they're going to go through this new awakening process, one way or another. And sometimes we're here, we old ones are here to help those progress on their higher plane of thought. And then sometimes the newer ones are coming along. I met this one young lady. She's very aware of her ascension path. And we were having a very good conversation, and I said, well, I'm been called a bulldozer because we're one of the old ones who've come in and just, built a path for these young ones. And here I'm meeting one of the young ones, which I don't often do. And I just said, we've blown up the boulders and we've created a path for you young ones coming in to do your work. And she actually understood that and acknowledged that. I don't usually find people who understand that. And she acknowledged that immediately. Yes, thank you. We appreciate your work. I think that's a first that I've heard that. It's very refreshing. It's very nice to hear that. It's nice when you do all this work for so long and you never hear it. Okay. So there is recognition as well. So it's not just the idea of the appreciation, which is wonderful to have that when you never have it, but it's also this beauty of the recognition of the spiritual path. So we're there, people. Don't give up. Don't just look at the 3D out of your 2 physical eyes. Look at the 5D and up from the ethereal eyesight, your third eye, high dimensional diamond mind, your 5D mind, mind's eye. Take a look. Open your pineal. Wake up, look, see what you see. It's not this reality. All right, it's very, very high vibe light. It's very different. Okay, is there anything else? I think that's all that's coming to mind to say. This was just like an encouragement day for us, any of us who are thinking, oh my gosh, like it's like gonna go forever. Are we ever gonna see the end of this? Yeah. Yes, definitely. We are seeing the end of this. It's wonderful the way this works, isn't it? Yeah. Stick around long enough, you can see the fruits of your labor. So people are getting it. They are waking up. They are seeing the momentum in the higher light. They're feeling it. They're knowing it. They're touching it. They're tasting it. They have this whole sensory operational system working now, starting to come online. So blessings, everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. It was a very high day. This is the third round of the Mars-Pluto opposition. It's supposed to hit here at 9 tonight. Not quite there just yet. And then tomorrow as we said before, is the new moon in Taurus. It's supposed to be quite a spectacular new moon. So let's take advantage of that and move forward. All planets are direct. That's a big go. Let's go. Plant your seeds. What do you want? What do you want to see? How do you want to reverberate? How do you want your life to be? Make it so. All right, I'm going to go. It's good touching base with you again. We'll speak again, and take care of yourselves and others. And I'm going to say good night. Talk to you again. Bye for now.